In this video, I'll show you how to record loan receipt. To have the functionality of loan in the document, go to General Setting from Administration, enable the option Enable long-term credits and loans. Once the setting is enabled, go to the Bank Receipt Documents from Money module. Once open, here you will find the list of bank receipt documents created with different transaction types. To create a new document, click on Create option. In the opened form, fill in all the tabs and its mandatory fields. In the main tab, I'll recommend you to first select loan receipt in the transaction type. This enables the fields which are appropriate for this transaction type. Once the type is selected, fill in the mandatory fields like creditors, the cash flow item, amount, entity, and the bank account. In the creditors field, specify the company who lent the money to your entity. Mention the bank name of the creditor under creditor's bank account, or you can click on Create option to create a new bank account. To be able to later analyze the cash flows, in the cash flow field, specify the cash flow item associated with this company's loan. Click on Show All. In the entity type, choose the right entity for this transaction. The bank account field shows the default bank account of the selected entity. However, you can select another bank account of the entity if needed. In the amount field, specify the total amount received from the lender. Once all the details are filled, move on to the payment details tab. Here you can provide information about documents associated with the received loan, loan details, and information on the exchange rate used for the document. There is a switch for changing the display mode, which is located to the right side of this tab. There are two following options: single row mode or a table mode. When a single row mode is used, by default this option is applied. Use this mode if the receipt is applied only to a single document. You can use table mode to apply the receipt amount to multiple documents. In our example, we will use single row mode. In the contract field, specify the contract related to the receipt. The accounts rate and accounts factor are populated automatically according to the contract currency rate with respect to the national currency, which is effective on the document date. The accounts amount field shows the loan amount in the contract currency. Under the project tab, mention the project name if available. In case table mode is selected, in the payment amount mode column, you will need to specify how the receipt amount is split between the multiple documents. Make sure the sum in the payment amount is equal to the amount in the total field below the table. Moving on to the next tab, bank charges. This tab is available if enable bank charges is selected from administration, money module settings, enable bank charges. This tab is used for recording the bank charges applied to the received loan. To record the bank charges, you need to select the apply bank charges checkbox. This makes the appropriate fields available. In the cash flow item bank charges field, by default shows the bank charges cash flow item. In the expense GL account field, specify an account to accrue these bank charges as expenses. In the department field, specify a department associated with this bank expenses. In the expense item field, specify an expense item intended for a bank expenses. In the business activity, you can enter the business activity for such expense. In the charge amount, you need to enter the charge amount which was applied to the received loan. The net amount field, which is not editable, displays the amount received to your entity's bank account. The total amount field displays the total amount that was sent by the lender, and you cannot edit the total amount field. Moving on to the additional information tab, here you can provide some additional information about this bank receipt with the loan receipt transaction type. In the in document field, you can enter the number of the document received from the lender. In the from field, enter the date of the document. Optionally, in the transaction remark text box, specify any relevant details. Once all the details are filled, check the tabs and post the document. View the transaction details. Here you can see the bank account will be debit and current loan will be credit, and a separate entry will be created for the bank charges. In future, when the loan has to be paid back, you should follow either of the two steps. Firstly, generate the loan payment document based on bank receipt using the generate option and choose loan payment bank. All the details will be copied from the bank receipt. Only the paid amount and the date need to be selected. Once done, you can post the document. For the second method, you can create a bank payment document manually. For this example, I'll reduce the balance to 3,000 and post the document. Let's create a separate bank payment document manually to set up the rest of the balance. Go to bank payment, click on create option. Under the transaction type, choose loan payment. Fill in all the required field as needed. That is, choose the bank, amount, choose the right entity in the entity field. In the basis field, choose the bank receipt document and click on fill by basis. So the details can be filled automatically under payments details. Once all the details are filled, check the details and post the document. You can refer the transaction details of the document to know the entry created. It will be debit current loan and credit bank account. That's how you can create loan receipt and make a payment when it's due. Thanks for watching the video.